discretion is advised.
Happy Monday, you are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 114, and we are still for probably a few more weeks in patch 6.2.4. Today we have a lot to talk about. We're going to be breaking down the developer Q&A, which did focus on professions. I can't deal with these guys right here. The Battle.net update that's preparing for streaming options to Facebook, which we covered a little bit ago, as well as lots of Legion things and a few little nuggets that I recorded for you guys from the beta land. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
In the World of Warcraft trade chat, troll-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Azeroth, the dedicated players who call out these asshats are members of the elite squad known as the PWNCAST podcast. These are their story.
It's that time again, guys, where I don't really know if I want to unmute and allow them to ruin this nice, peaceful and serene moment that you and I have to share before I let these guys come in and just ruin it with all their nonsense. But I guess it's gotta be that way because this is not the Bell Show. This is PWNCAST, and these guys are part of PWNCAST. So let's go ahead and unmute these guys, shall we?
Oh, now she's
So I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the DK who's trading in his army of the dead for Chi Lakin.
I cheated though. I did get the my monk up to level 90. His name is Tarn Punter. It is a gnome. I got tired of doing the damn Worgen thing, so I tried out a gnome, and I still don't like it. Though. Yeah. Well, I like the furry, but
that means something in other cultures. So let's
we won't talk about it.
Let's not make.
Did you have a Jeffrey?
I had my daughter start me doing the grant level, and I got him up to level 90, and find out that you cannot grant above level 90, and it really pissed me off.
Lycan's daughter is playing, and she is in the Riders, and my DK's name is Death by Bell, and her DK's name is Death by Boo, and it's adorable. When I seen that, I literally was like, oh, that's the cutest thing ever. At first, I was all mad, and I was like, who did this? And then I seen the note and realized that it was my miniature. Her name is Bella, and she's adorable. But then
she gets a note, and I still don't have a note yet.
I think your note is like jerk or something. I'm not. I'd have to confirm with my sources. But
her nickname is Boo, so that's why I kind of fit. And then we have Bell Boo now, Death by Boo. So we got to figure out what the rest of your tunes' names are and mimic them after that.
Couldn't even be mad. You guys have probably noticed that we are down a huge bloke. I'm not really sure where he is, to be perfectly honest. It's likely that he might have fallen asleep. He does have a newborn, so I really hope he's alive at least and not laying covered in baby poop somewhere. But if you are watching this later, we love you, and I don't know where you went, but the show will go on, and we will do what we got to do. So I did also bring the monk who's becoming a beta pet battle legend, which is... This is just going to be another accolade for him to brag about, guys. So
I respect all pet battle content creators, but I think over this last week I realized I'm the greatest. I'm the GOAT. Some of the strategies that I destroyed these new pet tamers with, never seen anything like it. Stay tuned for more.
That's exciting. It's exciting stuff when you get to see stuff before other people get to see stuff.
That's right.
Then you get to hone your skill, and then you get to be the best when it launches. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Absolutely. We went over it last week where, I was like, oh, beta, whatever. And super excited to just, again, get into the content ahead of time. So, yeah, very fun.
Is Jim's note the pet battle guy? That makes a lot of sense, actually, if that's the case.
It should. And if it says that Remedy's just changed it, because I've been looking at a blank note forever.
He probably
just changed it.
Yeah.
Since he's an officer, he probably did. I did also bring the priest who doesn't have an introduction because that poor guy's done nothing but work, so that's basically going to be his introduction. He is just a man working hard for his money. Secret Sauce.
Would we call him Rihanna? Because he work.
That's my ringtone to wake my ass up every day. Yeah.
Riri.
Yeah, but it was fun. I mean,
Riri just
sounds like he rides the short bus. I did, right? For a whole week.
We haven't offended anybody in a long time.
is.
So it's been many moons since we've had to add to the offended list. So we might as well break out the good old list and add that right to it because that did happen.
Yeah,
so
but
just work,
all in all,
man.
it was worth it. I don't know how this week's going to be because they said we have mandatory overtime. So, I don't know. I'll find out tonight, like around midnight.
I'm a rebel. I would be like, I'm mandatory nothing. But then again, I like money. So because I'm a
Mandatory
fan of spending
paycheck.
money, I'm a fan of doing what I need to do to have that money.
Exactly.
Of course. Yep, that's right. Now there you've got them singing shit in chat. So the developer Q&A that they did have was a pretty robust developer Q&A. So before we actually get into that, I think I'm going to leave that towards the latter part of the news to get some of this other stuff out of the way. Midsummer festival stuff is going to be ending July 5th, so you want to make sure you get in there and do what you need to do. I can say me and Remedy grinded out the rest of the stuff we needed, and we are the proud owners of the Violet Proto Drake. Long strange trip. It's done. Yay, yay. Not for nothing, there was an incident with catching the torches. I'm not going to tell you how long it took me, but I can tell you that the first time I did it after so many tries of failure, I was literally like, yep, fuck this, I'm done. I don't even care about the stupid mount. Like, we could just not, I don't even care. And then we went and did some other things and we came back.
Everyone picture her character like turning to get the other flame thing to catch it.
It was literally like terrible. I would get to the very last one and then I don't know if like I would freak out or I was like seeing shadows that were not really there. I don't really know. But when we went and did other stuff and then when we came back to it, I was successful in my endeavor. And Remedy was helping. He was dropping the feather on the ground. Like he's like, I know you could do this. And I'm like, but I don't want to. But I did it. It's been not as long as most people. Mine's only been a 3-year. I didn't find out until it was even a thing until 3 years ago and I seen somebody on a purple drake and I was like, where did you get that? So it's been 3 years of lazy of me doing a couple items and then not, and then doing a couple items and then not.
Yeah.
One less grind. But you guys need to get in there and get that taken care of. It's the easiest of all the things I've done besides Brewmaster because it requires less RNG. The RNG being you have to catch the freaking crap in the air. But other than that, going to all the spots, doing it with a friend, giggity is always good in anything we're talking about. Solo's never fun. Well, it can be, but it shouldn't be. But
not as fun,
it's always good to bring a friend to help you so that you're not bored. And it's also equally good when that friend is kind enough to carry you around so that you can edit videos because he was my taxi while I was editing videos.
There you go. Fair enough.
That's just how we roll, guys. But
good job, Remedies.
Yeah, shout out to him because he's been my guy on the inside. I don't know what you're doing with the show notes, but I'm gonna need you to knock it off.
I hit the wrong button.
You're deleting.
I'm trying to follow a link and I hit the wrong button.
Also,
we're good.
The BattleNet has an update if you have Alpha for BattleNet. Most of us turned Alpha off because when Alpha first launched for BattleNet, there was all kind of bugs and it was wonky and it wasn't working. There's a latest build that now has a live button next to the play button. What they're doing is we talked about this, they're getting it ready for you to be able to go live from BattleNet for Facebook, which I'm sure as PWNCAST, I'm going to be taking advantage of that just because it's another avenue for us to be able to share with you guys, those of you that follow our Facebook and stuff like that. So I'm definitely gonna test that out on that endeavor, but I do apologize because this means there's going to be a lot of crap in your guys' Facebook feed from a lot of people that you might not care about. So more to come on that. Because it's not engaged on my BattleNet, I can't test it. So once it's on my BattleNet and I can see what's on there, we've got an article that's in progress right now on the PDQ regarding it with screenshots. But until I can get it to engage, it says the build is available and I supposedly have the new version, but it was not allowing me to do so. So next week I'll have a little bit more in-depth information on what the capabilities are. From a personal perspective, I can read that off to you, but I'd rather tell you firsthand rather than read it somewhere. But that is a good thing. So definitely want to make sure that that you guys get in there and do that. Now,
Nothing in it right now about it.
That's pretty much the bulk of news, right? I have some Legion stuff that I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. Pretty quiet chance to play around in Legion, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's talk about the professions here. So they had a developer Q&A, and with this developer Q&A, it was my good buddy Lore with Paul I think it's Cubit. Not really sure how to pronounce his last name, but I mean, his name is Paul, so there's that.
There you go. Yeah, good enough.
They did a really in-depth Q&A on professions, which I've seen a small changes in professions. I haven't really dived into them in beta. That's next on my list of things to attack. But they did talk about some specific things, one of them being the Blood of Sargeras. So Blood of Sargeras is pretty much going to be like your Fellblight now. Blood of Sargeras, this is what you're going to be using for all your crafting. It's not BOE. It won't be BOE, and it's not going to be BOA either. The reason that it's not going to be BOA is so that you can't farm it, right? So that you can't use 20 alts to farm all of this, send it to one, and then kind of dominate the crafted stuff and dominate all those things that you use it for. Yeah. So, I mean, I understand the reason they did it, and he spoke very honestly and said, you know, we don't want this to be an alt farm. Get you, totally, makes perfect sense. It is frustrating, though, because I mean, if your crafter's on several different teams, like that part does suck. I'm not gonna lie, especially for me, who I only play one character. Like I have several tunes that I play, but I only
that are all professioned out.
I only do the main stuff on Bell, because your Blood of Sargeras you're gonna be able to get from everywhere. You'll get it from PvP, you'll get it from world quests, you'll get it from just doing regular quests, you'll get it from raids. You're gonna be able to get this pretty much everywhere. So basically on the tunes
I
that
hope
I
I
don't
get
play.
enough to like make it worth it though.
Well, it's going to be used for so much stuff, especially along with Obliterum, which will be how you upgrade your crafted gear, which let's talk about that crafted gear. So they talked about really early on them wanting to make crafted a thing, right? More than just making crafted gear, you use it till your next tier in raiding, and then it just goes mine sits in my bank because I've outcrafted it, right? I've gone to where I could go, and then it's nowhere. With this Obliterum, this is giving you that power to take your crafted gear to the next level and continue to go up. I think it might max out at 850, where you could use that Obliterum to be able to do that. Now, the Obliterum you'll get from destroying crafted items. So things that you craft, you'll be able to take to the Obliterum Forger, you'll be able to destroy it, shippity chop, 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 mix that up with your Blood of Sargeras, and then boom, you've got your upgrades for your crafted. Another game changer here, your crafted does not have a limit anymore, so you can be crafted. Full crafted. But this does put those of us like Belle, because she's a cloth wearer, she is a tailor. So this gives those of us that utilize that specific profession for our class that we have to be able to have the power to be able to do more with our gear outside of just going in and grinding and raiding. Like, this will make it really easy for a lot of our guildies to even, you know, get ready to step into the raid, because the raids are released in schedule. So this gives us a little bit of time to go in, get through this content, get max level, and start working on our crafted stuff so that we can kind of be ahead of the game there to be able to step into these raids and make this just a little bit easier. A couple other things that they talked about in regards to the professions, I want to see, there was a couple things that I wanted to make sure that we mentioned. There is no enchanting of weapon, obviously, because it's an artifact weapon, right? So you don't really need the enchants. There's 34 abilities that you're going to be able to unlock. So 34 traits that you're going to be able to unlock. Some of those have several different ranks. They go up to rank 3, which, small plug for the YouTube channel, make sure you check out the artifact weapon videos I did for every specialization and class.
You sure did.
I sure did. Make sure you guys check those out, because I did a really good breakdown on what that means. But you're not going to need to enchant that because it's an artifact weapon. You're already getting a phenomenal amount of power. If you guys watch my dungeon videos I did, you'll be able to see just my one artifact ability, which is your on use. My dimensional rift, I can have 3 of them, and it's constant damage to the boss. Like, I used it on every boss fight. It was beautiful. So in dungeons at Belle's basic gear, because I copied her over, in dungeons with basic bitch gear, like what we've gotten so far in heroic, right? She's got basic bitch gear. I was pulling 50 at times, almost 60k DPS on a caster, right? So that's pretty.
But you're standing still, right? You're not moving.
Yeah, I'm not moving. And my DPS is always good when there's. But there was mechanics I had to follow. But
35k.
Now, keep in mind, this is dungeons, guys. So this doesn't mean anything. This was just a normal dungeon, but power-wise, a lot of that power came from my artifact weapon, right? And it came from the on-use ability that you use as part of your rotation. Each weapon's different. So you're not really going to need enchants here, because your artifact weapon really comes packed with so much stuff for you, you're not going to really miss the enchant. So don't freak out about that. Another thing in regards to changing that enchant, you'll be able to enchant, your necklace will be your proc now. You'll be able to have special procs coming from your necklace in regards to that enchant. And I know that there was something about rings here, so let me find, proc-based enchants have been moved to neck. The neck enchants have different procs based on the stats chosen on your rings and cloaks. So those items are going to talk to your neck enchant and be like, hey, I need you to be all haste. If you could manage that, that would be stellar.
So it's full on accessorizing as one unit.
Literally.
It's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah. So I was most excited about that just because I think it's other little ways that we'll be able to produce the desired result when we're building our stats and when we're really building the perfect stat weapon as far as our whole arsenal that we have, so all the gear talks to each other. Then combined with being able to have unlimited crafted gear and giving you a purpose in professions, I think is really what they've been focusing on. And that was a lot of the reason that they did a full profession breakdown, is because I told you guys about jewel crafting, where you actually, when you're making the jewel, you're seeing that actually happen instead of you sitting here doing this weird shit with your hands, which looks like you may or may not be smoking a crack pipe. This is actually you crafting a jewel.
You're rolling.
Yeah, right. But now you're actually seeing what you're doing, so more immersion effect of you actually being in game doing these items. I also had a chance to check out the glyphs, right? Glyphs are all cosmetic now. The cool thing about the glyphs is when you right click the glyph to spell it, put it on a spell, it automatically opens your spell book with the spell highlighted that it's on there. Then when you put it on there, there's a little triangle in the corner, a little purple triangle to let you know that that spell has been glyphed. So pretty nifty as far as that goes. In things that they've removed or changed, I do miss some of the glyphs because they were, it's whatever, but...
You mean glyphed?
Glyphed,
I'm still hung up on the fucking glyphed thing.
How do you say...
You caught that too.
How do you say Medivh?
Huh?
How do you say Medivh?
Medivh.
Such a
Medivh?
Such a shithead.
You're
Right here.
Lifted.
You're glyphed.
Let's see. I'm trying. I just want to make sure that I get
We can roll with the mentally challenged, insults because we've already added them to the list, so we're good for the night.
Will humanoids drop cloth as a tailor with no barn? Cloth felt very tedious to obtain in WOD. I have to second that motion. I really hated the fact that I had to be suffering through the barn situation to feel like I needed to get what I needed to get. So I 100% second that question. And yes, it's there's going to be a number. What does it say? There may be a number tuning, but they do currently drop the Sheldori silk.
I made so much gold off Savage Blood. I had 4 barns going at the start of the expansion, and they were selling for 1,000 gold a pop. I was killing it.
I had 3.
Whoa, that's good. Yeah.
Is jewel
Lots of
crafting
gold.
going to be relevant again? How many sockets on average? The number of sockets should be the same as Draenor and perhaps a little more. For example, crafted rings and necks have guaranteed sockets on it. Hello? Another reason to craft, guys. I am excited that they're making us important again. Those of us that craft those kind of things on a daily basis, I'm going to choose something that's a guaranteed socket because I like to socket things.
I just kind of wish just overall crafted gear could have like a possibility to have a socket. That would have been cool before, but whatever.
Or
Right.
you like a random like you would proc for Warforged or something like that.
Warforged, possible socket, stuff like that. I mean, that would have been kind of neat. I mean, make the percentage really low, of course. I mean, it's really low in general already. So
Somebody asked a question, have you considered changing gathering professions to secondaries? I'm sure this, and he even said this has been talked about every expansion. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one, which is why this was asked, that feels really frustrated. So, in order to be able to pick up tailoring, because I'm a scribe also, in order to be able to pick up tailoring, I had to drop herbalism. So now I have to go pick up herbalism again to be able to do what the hell I need to do.
Right.
Like, this is completely frustrating.
What?
Yeah.
So secret sauce has to drop enchanting, and I have to pick up fucking herbalism.
If you need if you for gathering. So let's say I'm one person, I don't have alts. Okay. I would have to have an alt just to be able to have a profession like mining or urban, right? I would have to have an alt strictly for gathering. So the question is being asked, why can't this be moved to secondary? Why can't we have this and it just be either one or the other? I don't think each toon should be able to mine and herb, but I think you should be able to make the choice and it should be pertinent to what you're doing. Like in your DK, you have engineering, you have blacksmithing, right?
No, I'm actually engineering and mining.
Because
and
you need to be able to mine.
Changes, yeah, and because of the changes, I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna want to switch my mining to blacksmithing, but now I don't have a, because you can make your own gear, obviously. But now I'm not gonna have that gathering profession, so I'm in that exact situation.
Where I'm gonna have to have a tune that's basically their job is just to gather. How bad are they gonna feel that the only reason I log on to use them is for them to gather for me? They are gonna feel terrible about themselves. So.
Like those 3 professions, though, there's no reason they can't be a secondary option. Only one, though.
Like first aid, you know what I mean? I do think you should be able to have your choice, and it should be able to coincide with, or even as a passive ability. Let's say you're a scribe, right? And you need to have these in order to be able to mill. Then it would be a passive ability that a scribe would automatically be able to herb. That
just like alchemy.
I think that would be a great idea. And same thing with engineering. You would passively be able to mine. I don't know if they thought about that. I feel like maybe I should suggest that on the forums. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's thought about that. But I do think that would be a good idea. Here's what he had to say. He said, concern for the future changing of the fantasy of a miner or herbalism. Something similar was attempted in the Warlord's Garrison, and there was mixed feedback where everyone could get ore and herbs. So I actually think I might put that on the forums and just see where it goes, or if somebody else has discussed it being a passive, this is what you get for this. But I do agree that this is a source of issue when it comes to players. I understand where they're trying to preserve, right? What better way to preserve than allow that to be the ability that coincides with that main profession? Because that is in fact the fantasy. If you're going to be a scribe in real life, I better fucking know how to herb, right? Because that's important to me selling and making money in my herb shop. Or my scribe herb shop. That means something different, guys. Let's not make this illegal.
Hence the reason we have to roll it like
she has a green light outside her house.
Depends what state you're in, right?
Yeah, let's not make this illegal. But I feel like maybe they just need to be pushed in the right direction. So if you think that's a good strategy and you think maybe we should do passive, let's help them make some good use of that. So if you guys have access to the beta forums, let's help them figure out what to do with this, because we as a community, we are responsible for how this plays out. So we can definitely do that there. But I do like that they're considering things that they needed to consider, and I appreciate that they realized a lot. This whole Q&A, a lot of it is them fixing stuff that they broke in Draenor. Like they broke a lot of things, not meaning to, just trying to make it better, and they just realized that those things didn't work that way. So I like the direction that they're going in. Let's see. New recipes and quests will be added to Legion patches. Yes, so as we go, we're going to be getting new things on a profession level. So new stuff will be added to, to different things that you'll be able to do, which is nice that you don't just have that one release at the beginning of the expansion and then nothing throughout the expansion for those of us that do professions. So I think that's going to be a good thing. But really, let's be real here. They had to do something with the professions, because with the new appearance tab and the new transmog system, people are not going to be making money in large part off those transmog items anymore. So, I mean, there'll still be money to be made, right? Because there's still going to be people that are going to need to acquire them. But transmogging as a means of making your money and rolling that old content, especially with them slightly nerfing the older content as far as your rewards are concerned, they really didn't kind of have a choice here. So let's be honest, they're not really doing us a favor, because they kind of had no choice. They have to give us a means to be able to survive. You can't send us out to the real world and not give us a job or a means to be able to provide for ourselves in game, which is, guys, it sucks to be broke in World of Warcraft just like it sucks to be broke in real life.
In real life, absolutely.
I mean, especially with game tokens, dude. If you have 12 gold to rub together and you need game time,
good luck.
You better hope you have a friend, because it sucks. So
better go farm caterates.
Literally, I make sure I always have gold just in case it's a bad month in the Bell House. So, but no, I do like a lot of things that they did talk about. They did say that they don't plan on any new professions, which I think it's crowded anyway, right? Let's not introduce any new professions. Let's make sure we have what we have down good. Can we make first aid not suck? Maybe you could actually make first aid useful for me. Cooking's super useful because that's widely used, right? We use that in everything for our buffs, so that's wonderful. Fishing, that's all great, but maybe you could make first aid do a thing, right? Maybe you could do something.
Actually heal?
Yeah, like what's the point?
No, we
right?
can't do that anymore.
At this point, the only reason I have max first aid is for the sake of the number, right? Because I want to be that
For
person
the achievement.
that says I have all the things. But maybe make first aid great again, guys. Don't build a wall. Let's tear it down. You know what I'm saying?
Berlin.
I know. But that's pretty much. I'm trying to think if there. Shh. Let's see. Why is there no bigger bag from tailoring this expansion? People are very sad. Here's the thing, guys, you should understand about that.
It's because you get to buy that gigantic one.
But you don't need a bigger bag. They've consolidated. They've done so many things to consolidate to make it where bag
Student
space
loans.
is not such an issue. Let's focus on, what's
But I like having bigger sacks.
Let's see. Why are skinners at a disadvantage regarding personal nodes and multi-tap enemies while miners and herbalists are sharing nodes? Skinning doesn't follow the paradigm because it's implemented in a different way. It has always been a bit different. You can make your own nodes by killing mobs. Another perk is that skinners can skin corpses left behind by other players. There are probably ways to do this better, not for 7.1, but perhaps a future patch. There are some challenges to making skinning multi-tap effective. So they're considering it, which is great. They haven't flat down, said whatever. I skin on my rogue. That's her sole purpose, is to skin. I don't have any issues.
Yeah, everything I kill I can skin, so I don't see an issue with that.
And I think, if you've read everything so far when it comes to professions, it's all going back to the RP experience and what an RPG is supposed to be, and then you're turning around saying, well, okay, that's great, you're going to make these things RPG, and then you want to be able to skin the same animal that somebody's already skinned. It kind of takes, again, away from the whole RP thing.
Right.
Just go to an area where everybody's killing and I'm not skinning, and just follow me around and skin shit.
It's not
I
the
used to
size
do that.
of the bag, it's how you use it. That's actually a
Right.
lie. When somebody tells you that your bag is just the right size and doesn't need to be any bigger, that's a fucking lie, people. Let's just make sure we're all honest in this scenario. And when they tell you that it's just fine, it is not the size that matters and it's how you use it, that is also a lie, and that's them trying to make you feel better about yourself. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
I write my name well.
That just made it really awkward, and I'm really excited. Now, the skinning thing, I want to go back to that before we move on. So, I don't even really understand why this person asked the question. So, they're upset about what? Because what someone else kills, you want to be able to go and skin that? Hello? Can you not be lazy? Everybody bitches they have nothing better to do. Well, imagine a world where you go and skin, and then you kill things to skin it. And guess what? You're not bored, right? Because you have... Throw on your little Netflix. Go and do your skinning. So they're actually frustrated because they want to be able to skin someone else's kill as well, like they share.
As them?
Well, they do already.
No.
No, they're saying like a person gets to skin it and then you get to skin it.
I'm skinning it and then Belle gets to come skin it.
No.
That's stupid.
No, that doesn't make sense.
I don't understand. I don't think that would be... If I'm in real life, and I go get I don't know what hides we use for stuff, so I don't know what animal I would be hunting. But let's say I'm hunting some type of animal. I'm in not where I live, and there's animals, and I'm hunting to go skin. If I skin that animal and somebody comes up behind me and they're like, oh, I'm going to skin this animal too. Well, what the fuck are you going to skin? There's nothing there. I already did
Punch them
that.
in their face.
So
Just a sack.
Right. Entrails. But like Lycan was saying, RP-wise, that wouldn't make much sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. A mining node, sharing that mining node, although technically speaking, that kind of doesn't make any sense either, but it kind of does because the stuff can like regrow, right? Can it like pop out? I don't know. Herbs can regrow, so that makes perfect sense to me that people would be able to share an herb node because herbs grow back. I don't know.
Fuck that. I'm
mining
farming it. It's mine. Deal with
mining
it.
nodes regrowing.
I don't know what they do. I'm not a miner, okay?
You are such a city person.
I know. I know herbs, guys, and that's not for the reasons you think. I just know when you plant something and you pick it, it can regrow because of the roots, guys. Like I know those kind of things. And you guys just had to make this weird.
The entire southern United States just sat there and went, oh dear God.
Let's see. Fishing artifact. Should this be an item you can acquire more easily when starting off fishing to have as a skill up? He said, purposefully meant to keep vague, Having hidden things in the world keeps things fun. Don't believe everything you data mine. You don't need to complete the wish remover achievement. This is meant to be something for people who loves fishing. Can someone give me a show of hands of who the fuck loves fishing? Who are you people? If you love fishing and you live to log into WoW every day to love fishing, comment on this video. If you are on iTunes, go to the YouTube channel and comment on this video, and please say, Belle, I love fishing.
There's my show of hand.
I know someone that fished for 3 hours before raiding. 3 hours every day.
Who was this?
Does that.
Is he a guildie?
Yeah, him too. Because that's 2 now.
Who?
So
yeah, Velitrus will fish for hours.
Well, that's because he is the guild provider, right? His job is the provider of the guild. So you have a lot of children you have to provide for, and he has a lot of them. So
there's a lot of hungry mouths in the guild.
Whole guild.
So I can't imagine. I love that they're putting into the fishing, though. I don't have to love it to be excited that they're putting into all things. I would just, once again, if we could maybe see some things for first aid more useful than a bandage, because
a real bandage.
Guys, let's be honest. Applying a bandage doesn't heal you. Can I get some antiseptic? Can I get some fucking peroxide? Can I get something?
Neosporin?
Right? Wouldn't you think that
tube.
would be more along the RP? Now, that's a little Resident Evil, right? Where you have the spray can or you have to mix the herbs to make it, right? But a bandage doesn't really heal people in real life, guys. I've never been healed by a Band-Aid, right?
But I want the spray so I can just run around and have like an emote yelling, I'm spraying Bactine on your knee, you know? It won't sting, I promise.
Oh, Cash likes fishing. Of course he does. I'm just saying, like, spice it up, guys. Let's not that kind of spicy. Don't get any ideas.
Southern spice.
Let me just double check.
Maybe Secret will actually start taking me on a raids because like he keeps looking for healers and I keep telling him I have a bandage spec and he won't let me go. So maybe if you actually get that, I can actually go.
If you could actually bandage more, like actually often compared to what is it, every 45 seconds, I would say yes.
It'd be useful.
But that's fucking horseshit.
I can bandage everybody.
I just want to say though, bandages don't fix people. I mean, they can stop you from bleeding out, of course, but they don't heal you. A bandage isn't going to be the magic cure.
Maybe that's what
right?
I
never put them on like on an ambulance or in a hospital.
Yeah, but it doesn't cure you.
Together.
It's not a thing that cures you. It's just something that either stops your guts from falling out or holds stuff in or covers it. It's not a cure. I want to see freaking A&D ointment, guys. I want to see something.
Well, see, you should have the bandage, and as a first aider, you should be able to mash herbs together and make it more
do like get a little king's foil, guys. Let's Lord of the Rings this, you know? Let's really make this happen. I'm just saying, like, these are just ideas that I have. I don't know. That's probably why Blizzard's never going to hire me. But
if I have my guts hanging out, please put a bandage on me. I'm just telling you that right now.
It's not going to cure you, but it'll hold your guts in, which is essentially
not a frost weave, a heavy frost weave.
So somebody also talked about reagents being unified. Now, let me tell you why I like this concept of what he said. So you have your bank, right? They give you a nice little bank space for your reagents. That's all great. We have to transfer from tune to tune. We have to mail ourselves shit. All kind of stuff. What if we had the ability, account bound, a reagent bank that's account bound? But tell me they can't do it because we have add-ons that show us everything that's in all of our banks. So it can be easily done. Do they really want to mess with it? I know that they said they have, it's not really. They don't have any plans to do it anytime soon, but I'm wondering if enough people like take to the forums and are like, hey, so we would like to be more efficient. I would like to have to stop logging in and out of all my alts to send one person something.
No,
I know, I'm
that's
asking
ridiculous. That's like skinning the same hide twice.
No, this makes more sense though because it's a
joking.
Common, reagents are something that's used across multiple alts, and some professions share those things, right? Like your alchemy shares your herbs with 12 other freaking things that you need. So it would be super nice. Am I complaining it's not in there? No. I mean, the old way, I don't ever complain about the old way because it's the way we know. So improvements are great. If they plan on doing it, that's awesome. The thing about these Q&As is I think it gives developers the right idea to put them in that forward thinking to say, okay, we might slate this for later. We're not going to talk about this right now, but excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm going through puberty. But we might be able to talk about this at another time. All in all, I have to be 100% honest. I felt like of all the Q&As that this one was the most robust, so much so that I had to watch it twice. I watched it the day of, and then I had to watch it earlier to refresh myself because so much was covered. And what I liked about this is, I love Ian, okay? Ian's bae. However, he's a lot of vague, and I know he has to be because his Q&As are a little bit different, so he has the potential to give away giant things that they might want to keep secret, but he's always super fucking vague.
They're telling him to shut the fuck up.
This profession was so in-depth that it left little question or little confusion in response. Like, there's sometimes when some of these QAs answer and it's like all they did was rephrase the question and didn't really give you the answer that you were looking for. But I feel like that this was one of the most robust Q&As that we've had, and they have another one on the 30th, so make sure you guys tune in for that. Obviously we'll have coverage after that, but I think that they're doing the right thing because they're being more they're being transparent now at this point with their thought process and what they're looking for. Beta's transparent in the effect of people playing it. So I think it's just good stuff all the way around.
I think the transparency is more of a requirement than more of a necessity now than an option, only because you're leeching that many numbers because of how bad things went in Warlords of Draenor. I'm not saying, and I've always been one of the ones to stand behind Warlords, that it was not a horrible expansion.
Right.
But a lot of the things they implemented really tanked a lot of things, including, and most importantly, I think, professions. And I think it's more of a necessity now where they have to be more transparent, saying, look, this is some of the things we did to fix the things we fucked up in the past. Please bear with us because not everybody has beta yet and can access this stuff.
Agreed. I think they're in the right mind frame. I like what they're doing. I've been super pleased with beta, and after we go over Jim's segment, I'm gonna show you guys some little tidbits. I have a small Bell Legion section where I'm also
tidbits.
Yeah, I have some nuggets that I recorded that are quite lovely in my beta endeavors to make you guys happy. But we don't have a lore section today because we're actually working on doing zone lore as I'm going in and falling off cliffs and such, trying to acquire this video of these zones.
It's all Marky's fault that we don't have a lore section.
I have to have an adult, and if Remedy isn't with me in beta to help me not fall off mountains, I fall off mountains, guys. This is what I do.
I thought you said you needed an adult.
He's being a grown-up right now.
Yeah, I know. He's adulting and working, so I have to wait for him to get home and not be tired because it's tired at his job, So he adults, so I'm stuck left to my own devices, and I'm going to show you guys later what happens when I'm left to my own devices. But Jim, I know you have. Probably have lots to talk about since you've been doing things.
I got a little something going on. Super fun pet battles in beta. A pet battle can start literally anywhere, right? Like I can walk up to Lycan, challenge him to a friendly PvP pet battle, right? Blizzard and the developers, they've actually created a lot of new content. It's really good. I'm really excited. Now, I've only really messed around with the Dalaran tournament. I haven't had a chance to fight the pet tamers and do some of the daily quest. Like we mentioned before, there was the daily quest to unlock the Pocket Pet Portal once you've unlocked all the achievements. The reason why I haven't got to those pet tamers is you have to level through from level 100 to 110. I tried to cheat a little bit and create a level 110 character and get off Dalaran, and it just kept shooting me back. So I've only done the Dalaran pet bosses or the pet tamers, and so far I like what I see. Pet battles are, to me, it's at an all-time high with creativity. More and more pets are being added, and the content is really fun. So I think Blizzard and the developers and anyone who's been working on the content has succeeded, in my opinion. Of course, things will change a little bit, and we'll see what they add after the expansion's out. But I really do like what I see. So soon we'll have a lot more videos and articles for PDQ. I'm still testing a lot of things. One of the reasons why I was bragging about how excited I was, I fought Sir Galveston, I believe his name was, and he was one of the tougher trainers.
What type of... he's a trainer you fight.
Yeah, he's a pet tamer. He had 3 pets, and I used, I could beat almost any pet tamer looking for 3 pets, but I try to be creative for the channel because, I want to beat them with 2 pets, whether it's for an awfully big adventure achievement where you have to beat them with the Alec plushie, or I look for an opportunity to power level pets. So I want to be able to beat it with two pets and sub in a low-level pet. So I beat Sir Galveston with my bronze whelpling. It had to be a specific breed, the fast version, a speed version, and the ghastly kid. And
I
and
too
that was
like
really
the
fun.
fast version, Jim.
Yeah, because who doesn't want to attack first, right? Want to be speedy. I like that.
So my wife calls me. Oh wait.
I'm going for my best time, right?
That's
Yeah,
six
so I've been really excited, and I'll have a lot more content on Warcraft pet battles and articles on the PDQ as it comes out. It's hard for me to make official videos because I want to always have the best strategies, and I'm still working that out. And putting some articles up on the forums for Wowhead or my opinions in the comments. But so far so good. Real excited, and I'll have a lot more pet tamers names and discuss the pet bosses as I get a chance to finally fight those pet bosses and do those dailies. But I gotta level up. How far have you guys leveled up?
I'm
Have you
just
started
trying to be
out?
mature right now.
Yeah, it can happen.
Well, yeah.
Just trying.
I'm gonna try to level tomorrow.
I made it to
Yeah.
100.
I'm level 101 because I'm just doing
Everything
the
else.
stuff I do in there so obscure my needs. So I'm actually focusing on the leveling because we want to do the higher level dungeons, and I want to be able to do raid content so that I can do previews and stuff for the YouTube channel, because that's been my sole focus. But let's talk a little bit about beta, since Jim was kind enough to tell us about some beta pet battling. Let's talk about some beta. So I'm going to show you guys a picture. Now, at this exact moment, I was not recording, but I did make sure I got a screen cap of some bullshit that was going on. I did already complain about it on the forum. So picture this, guys. Remedy's off doing some secret thing that Remedy does. Broodie's off doing some secret thing that Broodie does. And here I am left to my own devices. Every place I go to explore, I unlock the map, right? Because you want to pull up your map and see everything.
Right.
I do full circles throughout. I get all the flight paths, so that way when I go to record my exploring video, it's just easy A to B to A to B. I'm at High Mountain. And I'm trudging along, and there's lots of little secret hidden pathways throughout this whole zone. I think I'm doing fine, right? Everything's good. I fall off the mountain. What could be the harm in that, right? Not a problem. I forgot to soul stone. Normally I had been soul stoning at this point, right? Now, when I fell off the mountain the very first time, I forgot that I had the goblin gliders on me, right? Just because I had rolled and it's a different expansion. So I didn't do any falling after that. I used my goblin glider. So I fall off the mountain and I die. The graveyard they send me to, I don't realize it because when you first die, there's no NPCs, right? So you're in right here getting ready to resurrect to the graveyard and everything's empty. And I'm like, cool. Hey, this whole place to just explore. I don't know where I'm at. I'm assuming I'm in High Mountain. Nope, not in High Mountain. I just happen to be on the one mountain that separates me from the max level zone, which is Sewer Mountain, which is the 110 zone, okay? At level 101, you get fucking murked.
Oh, yeah, I visited there.
I res. There's a guy standing right on top of where I res. Boom. Literally, I'm dead. So I'm in Zoom, and I'm like, hi, can somebody come rescue me? Because I'm stuck here. So I'm going to show you guys this lovely image. As you guys can see, is my dead body. You could see my name. And then you see this guy, this jerk, is just permanently camped out. Just chilling.
Wow. Let's see. I'm gonna use my phone.
So literally, he's just sitting there. What are you waiting for? Can I help you? Is there something I can help you with? Would you like to fucking take a picture while you're staring at me? So
I think he's waiting for you to repair your gear.
I res, and now keep in mind this screenshot is several deaths later, where I keep thinking that he'll despawn or he'll move. No, guys, he doesn't move. He stands here.
He stays at the graveyard?
Literally, he does not move. He doesn't do any back and forth animation. He just stands there and stalks you.
Looking at dead bodies.
He's literally like, I'm coming for you and all of your things. So.
Oh, this sounds like Burning Crusade for me all over again.
So that happened, right? So luckily, I get smart. Remedy's coming to save me. He's coming in on this white horse. Broodie's coming to save me. They're both coming to try to see if they could steal some aggro to let me get away. Guys, it was awful. So what I finally did is I snuck away from the body until the last moment when it'll let you
Yeah, res.
And I had to find the sweet spot in between two other sets of mobs that cross paths because they constantly patrol. And that took me a few times to be able to get that. We finally got it. The problem when Remedy came to help me is we were phased for some reason. So he killed that guy, but he didn't kill it for some reason on my side. That guy was still standing there. Yeah. So I sent a screenshot and I put it on the forums and I was like, if this was intended, this is cruel. It's really mean for you to put a hostile mob on top of the spawn point at the graveyard, and this hurts my feelings. So maybe you could not do this thing. So we'll see. So that...
Yeah, that's pretty weird. I've never seen a mob anywhere near
And he never
graveyards.
moved, guys. He didn't patrol. They did little animations standing there, but he was like in for the long haul. He was outweighting me. And at this point, there was nothing I could do except try to res a little bit far away and be able to hearth out, which is what I did.
He wasn't stuck?
No, he was moving.
Like, you know how where you walk up, you see a character stuck in the map, and they're like,
he's like
No,
until
because
you're right
when
on
he
top of
killed
them?
me, he stepped out of his little soldier stance position and was kind enough to step back in his position when I was dead.
I gotcha.
And I didn't even stand a chance to even try to... And you could hear me screaming on Zoom, and I'm like, I'm running! And then I'm dead. Okay, so this isn't going to be a thing. Whatever, we're just gonna move along. So, that was the low point.
That picture's awesome, by the way.
That was the low point. Now, a couple of the high points here. Now, if you don't want to see any spoilers of High Mountain as far as visuals go, you don't want to look at this, but this isn't a spoiler of any sorts. This is just two cool things that I thought was neat. So I was exploring the rest of High Mountain, and I stand over the perch to see what's down there, and I see this beautiful lightning just happening. And I was so impressed with this lightning. Now, I have my graphics on Ultra, so it was at a great distance because it was in Stormheim, and the lightning itself was above Stormheim, and I'm in High Mountain. This lightning was so moving that I literally just sat there staring at this lightning for quite a while because it was really nice.
Did it change too, or did it keep striking the same spot?
So there's actually several spots that it goes in, and then so I'm going to show you guys this video. I know you guys are probably hearing the audio. I wanted you guys to hear the zone music. This is the High Mountain zone music. If you check that out, I was so impressed. Now, if you look right at the bottom where the lightning's at, you can see the part of the ground light up,
That
or
lights up? Okay.
on the left side, it touches like the top of the building. Now, let me tell you why I wanted to show you this. The reason I wanted to show you this is because this just further drives home the point of the time that these guys have taken here. They have taken such time for these little subtle nuances, even just with the weather. You can't see the clouds moving in the video, but the clouds are in fact moving, and by the time I'm even done, the clouds are like close together. So I really appreciate, even if you're just standing here doing nothing, being AFK, I really did appreciate just that image. I thought that was so pretty, and you saw like it hit the tip of that one tower, and then it like did a little crackle at the bottom.
Yeah.
I was so blown away by that. One of the dungeons, you surf in the dungeon, and if you guys go to the YouTube channel, I did 4 of the dungeons. There's a little moment where you surf down this little thing. It's fucking so cool. Sorry.
Cowabunga.
Yeah, so make sure you go to the YouTube channel and
TNC Surf.
Go look at the dungeons. Remedy will be able to remember what dungeon that was. I want to say it was Netharian's Lair. I could be wrong, but you go down like this little thing, and you're on your feet, so you're totally feet surfing down this whole thing, and then you drop into the water. But those little things are things that make me happy because they really, really took the time to care. So now, here's a little barrel ride. So once again, getting flight pass and exploring, and I see this barrel. I want to know what the barrel does. Okay. Just click the barrel. You just take the barrel ride. Now, if I would have done first person or third person, you would have seen the barrel, it like bounces off the rocks and stuff, but this is just it. You just slide.
So are you maneuvering this, or it's just going by itself?
No, it's going by. Well, yeah, no, you're kind of maneuvering it in the sense like it gives you the feel like you're maneuvering it, but.
So it was kind of like in Myst, how like they had that one on the wall.
And then it pops you down there, and then there's that.
This looks way cooler though.
Yeah, so a nice little barrel ride. You just take a break from the daily grind, guys, and hop in a random strange barrel at the top of a mountain. We don't have any care for mortality, right? We're fucking heroes. We have artifact weapons. We don't have to be concerned at what's at the bottom of the mountain. We just take the barrel. Never once did I say I shouldn't do this. I was literally like, oh, I'm soul stoned. Let's do this. So that was
just in case, right? Just in
yeah,
case they fuck
I
you.
wanted to just highlight that. Just look, Ma, no hands, because I want those that don't have beta access to be excited for and take my word for some of the things that you're seeing to be excited. I spend a lot of time in beta for the YouTube channel because I wanted to take my job seriously as a content creator and make sure I was really giving you guys good stuff. But I just want to reinforce that all of these zones are beautiful. Next week we're probably gonna start with Valsharar. So pretty, and Suramar's the prettiest zone, and I'm scared of it. So that's gonna be a hard one to get. But I've been spending a lot of time in beta, and numbers aside and worries aside over class play, a lot of these elements are coming together. They're doing what they need to do. So the second part of my Bell's Bite segment is going to be talking about something that happened this week in PWNCAST land. A thing happened, guys, and it was surreal, and it's one of those moments where I still don't even know if that really happened. For those of you who've been watching for quite some time, you guys already know how I feel about Mr. Elliot, aka Venruki. And if you don't know who Venruki is, he is an arena shoutcaster, and he is a 2-time champion for arena PvP, and he's Team Method. He took a break this time, this arena round for shoutcasting, but he's the mage who forgot to ice block one time, and they never let him forget about it. Down goes Venruki! And he does have a not in game. Down goes Venrook. He does have a not in game where there's an achievement where you try to kill so-and-so before he ice blocks, but...
Which is very cool. I'm surprised we went 51 minutes into the episode, and that was the first mention of this epic moment in your life and the PWNCAST world.
I wanted to do it in a proper fashion, and I wanted to make sure that I got the news out of the way because I wanted to make sure, like, all that, the stuff. But I got to sit down with him for the PDQ. So this wasn't so much for the podcast so much as it was for the PDQ, is doing a highlight on somebody in the community that not only I respect and I'm not going to say obsessed with, guys, let's not make this weird, but literally somebody who cares about his community in great lengths. Like, there's a lot of things that he does for his community in general. And I think that sometimes you have to highlight that. And it was a big deal because you guys know I don't deal with streamers at all. And for me to even... It was a big deal for me just because he's not just your typical streamer. And I still don't really watch streamers. I don't really watch him all that much for the simple reason I don't have time, right? So it's not that I don't choose to. I went in and subbed to his channel under PWNCAST name so PWNCAST can give him some love. I find little ways to just do my supporting with him, but I can't really watch streaming on a large... Like, it's really boring.
It's impressive what he's done, but also what all of these Canadians are really doing for the community. Let's just give a shout out.
Oh man,
fellow Canadian, like.
So, if you have not watched the interview, make sure you guys go to the YouTube channel, go to the PDQ, find that, and watch the interview. He talked about a lot of things. He talked about Legion. He talked about the state of PvP. For all you PvPers out there, my conversation with him gave me a lot of hope. And even after the show, him and I had a candid conversation about how he really feels in Legion, in a being able to kind of express himself without fear of the guys upstairs as far as Blizzard's concerned. But he did tell me that he's excited for a lot of things that are coming. There's a lot of tuning that needs to be done. So if you're watching videos and you're hearing feedback on PvP, you have to understand that they're in the middle of ability pruning and tuning. This is what they're doing. The final product is not going to be what we're getting. They're focusing on arenas now for esports, right? GCD TV, which is something Venrick talked about in the thing, they're starting to want to make arenas year round, right? They want to start focusing on making WoW PvP really a contender in the esports views, right? I mean, we have lots of stuff for esports. We have everybody streams Overwatch these days, guys. There's a fucking 20 million fucking people on the internet right now streaming Overwatch. Nobody gives a fuck. Great. You're cool because you're streaming Overwatch. Everybody and their mother.
It right now.
My grandmother is streaming Overwatch right now. You're not different because you're streaming Overwatch, people, just so we're clear. No different than we are for streaming WoW. We're all in the same puddle of stuff. We're all there in the thick of it. So they are focusing a lot on putting World of Warcraft's PvP at the forefront of that. You have to understand, even if you have no faith in Blizzard, Blizzard's not going to put into esports for World of Warcraft for PvP if it's broken, guys. They're not going to do it if these PvPers that break fucking records stop playing it. So you have to have a little bit of faith and know that this is going to be the one moment when influencers are going to matter when it comes to World of Warcraft, because these influencers that are in here every day doing PvP and giving feedback directly to Blizzard from like a pro perspective, these are the guys that are going to make sure that the game doesn't get ruined. As far as PvP, look, feel, I'm not going to lie to you, we PvP'd and it was awful. Literally.
We know, we were here last episode.
Yeah, I was dead every 5 minutes. But I also went in there not understanding my class right now because everything is different. So we went in there with a lot of things, and we're also in there going against content creators, and that's all they do all day is these PvP pros that are in there testing and retesting and testing and testing and testing. Mm-hmm. Of course they're going to smash your face in. So
but those streamers also that stop playing a little bit, they kind of have a right as well because of the lack and the almost disrespect that Blizzard put towards PvP in the last expansion. Great, huge focus on it this expansion, and they should all come back, and you're right, people that are putting in the work. But I don't blame some of those people for stopping for the lack of just content, and, they deserve a little, flack for the lack of content.
Agreed. I don't know where that came from. Was I...
No, just to say, because it's true. You want to. Some of the streamers may be playing other games.
Oh, I wasn't talking about I wasn't talking about the pro streamers Overwatching. I was talking about the random everyday Joes that share it on Facebook that they're streaming Overwatch.
Oh,
and I wanted them to know that they're not alone. You're among a group of people that is streaming everything. So that was really a kind of a dig at the people that are like, "Hey, I'm streaming Overwatch." You are? Well, guess what? So is 12 other people in my news feed. So.
Lycan is right now.
I'm streaming it right now.
Yeah, I like I said, my grandma, she's streaming it. No, the pros, that's what they're supposed to do. They play a lot of different games. It's not just WoW. They play a lot of non-Blizzard games. Venruki's original game was not World of Warcraft. It was Counter-Strike. I'm not saying I stalk him, but...
he was saying that.
So those in the community that are doing this stuff, like kind of on a semi or a professional level, should stream other games other than just WoW whenever there's a dry lack of content, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm 100% Warcraft.
Well, no, I'm asking Bell here. I'm waiting for a response.
I don't know. I personally think it should just be WoW, but that's because I love WoW. So.
Or what about?
I don't have a dry spell to where I go and want to be dry.
Well, I like being moist, but that's just my opinion.
I knew that was coming.
So, and I'm not knocking anybody. If you're a little time streamer, we're little time streamers, guys. Literally, like, it's taken us a year to get almost 10,000 views on Twitch. Like, we're little guys. We're not anybody important or we're not any special than anybody else. We just love the same community.
We are now.
Well, I mean, we are. When Venruki agrees to an interview, then you might be somebody.
Even before that, shout out to him. No, we are extremely important.
Shout out to my Shauna, because my Shauna, a.k.a. Dari, is the reason that I got that interview. And she literally is my guardian angel sitting on my shoulder. I'm pretty sure she might be the devil, and she just plays both sides.
I picture him like in the dirty devil on your left other side.
She's a little cantankerous, but I just freaking love her to pieces. She used to be open raid, and she does a lot in the community. She also owns the BlizzCon 2016 group, but she's really, really good people. And that the fact that even happened, she literally messaged me and was like, "Hey, can you check your email?" Okay. Then I checked my email, and I literally about fell over, when you get an email from Venruki. And then he's like, "Well, let's do it tomorrow." I was not prepared for that. I was thinking we were going to push it weeks out, right? And then it was...
He's like, "Nah, girl, I got shit to do." It
was the number one highlight of my career in this business. Good. It'll never be a moment to compare. That moment right there. We'll never compare, ever.
I know, to be on a serious note, I know exactly how you feel. That was like what was it? December last year that we invite that red shirt guy came on.
Yeah, agreed. You were,
and it was the same thing. Whenever I reached out to Ian, he'll never come on. We're just a little, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem." I'm going, it's exactly like I know exactly what you mean.
And he's not just, he's a normal guy just like everybody else, but he puts in and he streams a lot for people. And he does helpful tips, mage and monk. There's a lot of things that he does, but moreover, I don't know if you guys remember the story from BlizzCon. There might have been a face incident where I looked like a total fucking retard because I derped because I was so excited to meet him, and it was our first BlizzCon, and I didn't realize that we're the same as them. The only difference is people know who they are and people don't know who we are, but we are the same as them. We love the community just like they do. We put just as many hours, if not more, as they do. We are all equal in that endeavor. So I had to realize that these guys, I can love them and all that, but I needed to realize that we're on the same level. He's on a whole different level, but
we are, and that's why you were important before the Van Rookie interview. You've been doing so much work, and same with the rest of the team.
It was a moment of just, I can't even describe, and I had to be really professional, and I couldn't be like, oh my God, I love you so much. Like, I was really careful, but I don't think even he understood what it meant for me to just have 5 minutes of his time to be able to talk about a game that I love. So it literally was very emotional. I was in tears when I got the email. Like, it was a very emotional time prepping and doing. And then afterwards, I'm thinking, how is it ever going to get any better than that? Then I just realized, that's the tip of the iceberg. That's the tip of the iceberg. You don't reach your peak just and then you're done. You push through that. You break that beautiful barrier and you keep pushing right on through and push through that pain, because then there's going to be some joy. So
that's right.
I would never do this to break our trust, but I really wish I could copy and just like screenshot the Facebook messages that I had throughout the week before the interview, and how you're just fangirling. You needed somebody to fangirl out on, and you're just, oh my God, it's a fucking, it was funny.
You know why? Because I couldn't do it here because my husband is unnerved about the whole Van Rookie thing, because he's like, I don't understand why you're obsessed about another guy. And I'm like, you just don't get it. You just don't understand, right? You don't understand what it means. But it's weird because he stalks PvPers on Twitch, so it was really weird that he didn't understand that, but every time somebody says Van Rookie, I'm just like, can you maybe not? And then my friends were posting on Facebook all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, you guys are going to get me divorced. But
it's a combination of someone who's really good and does, has a lot of passion for the community, so something you love, plus he's a cutie in your eyes, right? So it's,
really, not as
I do the same thing with Broody.
Yes. not as he doesn't have nothing on my husband, but yes, here's the thing. He's so nice, like legitimately nice. I don't think I could be friends with him because he's too nice, right? Like, I'm going to need you to have some type of flaw. Maybe you could be a fucking psycho. Maybe you could say the F word randomly, like, and scream it. I'm going to need you to be flawed. He was so freaking nice. Now, I went into this praying to my God. Literally praying to my God, please don't be a dick, right? Please don't ruin the vision that I have, right? You always, when you meet somebody that you've looked up to or you've respected, you're really scared that vision's going to be destroyed.
Right.
He didn't disappoint me, and that was the one thing I was most grateful for, is that I could continue to have that nice vision.
Well, all of us Canadians are nice. We don't really have a mean bone in our body.
So nice. So it was lovely. I hope you guys watch it. I was nervous.
You guys are full of maple syrup.
I was very, very nervous. I'm sure you could see moments when I was nervous. But I think the next one to tackle is going to be Bajira, guys.
Ooh, get him.
I think so.
I copied his build and missed.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, he's going to be a tough one. That's going to be.
You better start working out.
Yeah, I'm going to need to start. I'm going to need to start working on my fitness so that I can have something to talk to him about. But the gatekeeper's the wife, right? And Jen's a super nice girl. That's the gatekeeper. That's, you get the wife, you get the money. So, he is my next goal as far as a community highlight, because I don't want people to think I just bash on streamers all the time. I don't. I like a lot of them. I just don't talk about them because I think some things are inappropriate. But Bajira is somebody that I would love to pick the brain of a lot of things. But highlight happened. Thank you for letting me share my Van Rookie moment, because it was the greatest moment.
It was a big deal. So
almost,
and you did well. It's a good interview.
Almost as great as having children. Not having them isn't any fun, but the after, when you get to hold them and stuff, it almost compares to that, but not quite. But if I say it does, then people are gonna be like, "Wow, you're a dick." But it's in that, I'll probably never get him on our show ever, so there's that. But Moving on.
Never say never.
Moving on to avoid making anybody mad here. No, yeah, that would never. Neither one of them. They're all in the same. And since nobody knows what I'm talking about, it's totally cool. Alrighty, so moving on. Want to let you guys know. Let's just check out our Kickstarter before we move on to our week in WoW. I know that we fund the Kickstarter closes in. I think it's
5 days.
We have 10 days to go for the Kickstarter. So anything that goes up over the Kickstarter does go into, for being able to do more things. I think we have a stretch goal for tacos. Let's see.
Yeah, but wasn't it like 4K though?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But anything goes extra.
I wish I could just. Why can't I just make tri-tip tacos?
Because they won't allow that. Anything that goes extra will go towards T-shirts. It'll go towards funding and stuff for the party. So we are over. The more is always the merrier. If you do have the means, give. If you don't, you'll get some cool stuff because Jeff, aka Fanglore, is making all the swag. Plus, you get your custom bracelet, your custom button, all those custom things. So make sure that you guys take advantage of that. Do the Kickstarter. What?
We're tweeting hashtag Broody Fan Squad.
Oh, geez. So make sure you guys do that. And then on that Kickstarter is a link to the universe for the DitchCon party that will be in November. So let's talk about everybody's week in WoW, shall we? Lycan, tell us what you did this week in the wonderful world of Warcraft.
Like I said, got my my monk up to level 90. Did absolutely nothing for it. Had 4 people whispering, say they're going to report me for cheating because I was standing there in the shrine as my daughter is granting me levels, and they're going, "You have to be cheating. You're doing something wrong." It was actually quite funny. What else did I do? I got. We started Death by Boo. She wants me to start a DK with her, but I don't know if I want to go through all that shit again. And she's starting to find out. Right? I only have. Oh yeah, I'm not like Aja where I have 5 different.
She has like 10
shamans and
Don't you talk about my Aja like that.
Soiled's got like 30
warlocks. Yeah.
Aja doesn't even love us anymore. She doesn't watch the show anymore. She doesn't talk to me anymore. She literally just doesn't care about me anymore.
I talked to her today.
Yeah.
So rude, but really just going through leveling. I'm trying to get the rest of my characters. I didn't realize though that if you're doing the recruiter friend, just to let you know those are doing it. I learned this. Once you've hit level 90, that leveling 3 times leveling experience stops.
Gone. Yeah.
Which is very upsetting.
Why? 90 to 100 you can do in an hour.
But not whenever you're taking an 11-year-old with you, trying to show her how to play. But I want to.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying throw her on your back and show her the stuff after.
Well, that's what technically I have been doing it only because I've been using my Sandstone Drake, and literally she's been riding on my back the entire time, just because she can't fly. But I figured, what we'll do is we'll power level, get her to 100, let her start doing her missions, let her start making money, then we can go ahead and go back and do other characters. And it's, as you're going through that leveling experience and you're starting to hit 94, 95, I'm going, wow, this is taking forever. And then I didn't realize that you can't grant levels above level 90.
Right.
So I figured I'd get her up to level 100 and let her just grant me my levels to get me my monk up to level 100, so I didn't have to do the last 10 levels. No, can't do that either.
That's so funny.
So, it was very disappointing.
Fastest way.
Yeah, but you know how much those damn potions cost? Now that I have 2 accounts, that's 12,000 gold to 15,000 gold for each one of us to do the bonus objective thing.
Well, you only need 6, right?
15-minute ones.
Yeah, but that's still...
You only need one per... Whoa, you need one per zone.
That's like 30,000 gold to do the bonus objective cheese just to get through it.
More importantly, what are you going to select for your refer a friend gift?
Probably the mounts.
I have all the mounts and the pets. That's how many people I've referred to World of Warcraft, guys.
What? Do you have the pets?
I have all the mounts and all the pets.
I thought about going back with the pigs, but I like the pigs, but I don't know if I want to get the pigs or not.
So I went through all the mounts first, and then I got the pigs. Or the pets. Whatever.
Well, send your next friends my way. I need
That's what my husband keeps saying. He gets pissed off because not only do you get a game thing to choose from, you also get a free 30 days. When they pay for after their second month, you get 30 days of game time.
Right.
That's cool.
So it's nice.
I think I've gotten most of the recruiter friend mounts because I've got the rocket, I've got the Heartwing, I'm kind of thrown up and down between the Emerald Hippogriff, which I really don't like, and the Swift Zebra.
I like hippogriffs. They're really nice. Their feet are really cool, so they can be really good ground mounts too, which is what I like about it. And their flight isn't derpy. I have a lot of problem with a lot of flying mounts because their body movements make me like. Some of them I don't understand. It looks like they're twerking in the air, but the hippogriffs, the wingspan and the body movement similar to that of a proto-drake. It's just real fluid.
Fair enough.
The Cindermane Charger, that's still available, right?
And it's a beautiful mount.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
that
mount.
one I might actually go for because I think that's one of the prettier ones.
If you have...
Can't you just buy that one?
What is the Firelands? If you have Firelands transmog, it's really nice too. A lot of the fire ones.
I got a really nice transmog set for my DK, but I have no mount to go along with it. I'm starting to sound like Bill. Oh, wow.
Well, now because I use that, I use the mount that you get in...
Good job.
Yeah.
That place.
You buy it with a Pexa crystal. Somebody help me. A Pexus. I've been in beta so much that...
The Fellscorch Dread.
Yeah, so I've been in beta so much that my brain is not on Warlords of Draenor, but it matches my transmog because it's purple and green, and my transmog is purple and green, and I'm like, this is unintended, but now I have my Violet Proto Drake, which would have matched 2 WoWs ago. But well, I think that's awesome that you're leveling with her. I also acquired a code from somebody who went to a Regal Theater. Shout out to Holy Sith, aka Erica. She gave me a code for the miniature for the littlest of the 2 teenagers, so that when she comes back, when I pick her up next month, she's going to be World of Warcrafting. So she's been asking to play it, and I don't want to buy crap that they're not going to use. So this gives her the opportunity to actually try to do it and to see if it's something that she loves. My 17-year-old.
Wait. Really?
Yeah, my 17-year-old's only a gamer when the boy she likes is a gamer, right? So she hasn't figured out yet.
One of those.
She hasn't figured out yet that she would get all the boys if she was a gamer because they stalk girls, right? So I try to tell her, like, maybe you could be a real gamer and not want a Call of Duty poster because the little boy you like plays Call of Duty. Maybe you could be like a real gamer. She's not into that. She's more into the eye makeup and the selfies and
there's a selfie camera.
Yeah, she's more into those things. Sadly, something happened along the way of raising her, and I apparently didn't do a good job because she's not a gamer. But she's college bound, so I guess I did something right. But there you go. I'm jealous, like in that you get to play with your mini.
Yeah, it's been fun, and it's hard for me to not let her just go full out there and play along, but I kind of refuse to let the reins out that loose to let her play when I'm not watching. I'm so afraid of internet security and but at least she plays, and when she does, it's only with me. So if I know it's a little young because a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't believe you let your 11-year-old play."
Man, I know what? Kids younger than that playing WoW.
Right. If you do it right, and gaming can be a family thing, and she loves it. My
6-year-old beat his first PlayStation game at 2.
Grand Theft Auto 4.
At 3, he was playing Call of Duty. At 4, he was online playing with non-6-year-olds, okay? This kid was 4 years old playing with a combination of what I think are prepubescent teenagers and grown-ass adults because my husband had to mute the comm, right? Because they're really awful.
Oh, yeah.
And my 4-year-old, my then 4-year-old, is first of all telling me I'm a bad player, right? I'm a bad player. I don't FPS very well. So he told me I couldn't play with him because I was making him lose the objective because I wasn't supporting him. His job was to go and kill. My job was to have his back, and I didn't. So then I hear my 4-year-old getting mad at his players on the team, and I go in there and he's crying, and I'm like, son, what is wrong? Mom, they're not doing it right. They're not having my back and letting me go for this whatever he had to activate on some bullshit. Literally, I don't think there is a too young for video gaming unless you're letting them video game 24 hours a day. I think that as long as you've blocked her from chat so she doesn't see anything she's not supposed to, you've taken all the correct steps. I don't think it's for anybody to tell you when there should be a two. I think there should be a Facebook limit. I don't think you should have Facebook until you're at least 15. I think it should be under that. Like, there's a lot of things I agree with on a parenting level, but gaming, because you've controlled the chat, that's 90% of it, right, is the chat itself. She doesn't Facebook, she doesn't Twitter, she doesn't do anything that's going to put her in any type of danger with another player because she can't talk to anybody. So what's somebody going to do at this point? So I don't think you're out of bounds for that at all.
No, and there's certain, like, there's only certain people. Of course, she's allowed to talk to me. I have you have her on Battle Tag. You know, my brother-in-law, she has on Battle Tag. And the only other person in the game I allow her to talk to is Velitrius. And let me tell you why. I know we talk a lot about this guy, and I've never met somebody I can't say anything bad about. So as we're playing along, we're plugging along, we're at 88, 89. She gets a mail. And, well, actually, I get the mail because he didn't want to send it to her and offend me. So I open up the mail, and there is 2 pieces of crafted gear in there. He said, I hope your daughter Belle can use this whenever she hits 90, or when she hits 100. Well, you know, you can use crafted gear at 91. So I'm like, okay. So I look at it. Well, that was nice. 2 pieces of crafted gear. I sent it over to her, and she puts it on once she hits 91. She's super excited. And then I'm looking at her gear one day, and they're already upgraded 6 of 6. So not only did he buy her gear or make her gear, but then he went and upgraded it to 6 of 6.
That's awesome.
So he was on, and she whispered him, said thank you, and he immediately whispered me and says, you know, your daughter just said thank you. I said, I know, I'm sitting right behind, that's fine. And he started whispering her back, and then she started getting more mail. So every time I go in there...
He's spoiling her.
Oh, yeah. Every time I go in there, there's his salvage. He starts opening up his salvage crates, and there's all this BOE gear that's set at like 94, so 97. Good. And she's got a whole set of inventory of clothes that she can put on as we hit different levels. And
that's awesome.
He was the finest element ever. He was literally, it was my jewel in World of Warcraft in the years that Riders has been around. He literally was, not to discount anybody else in the guild, but he was the best thing to ever happen. Just in general, with him making you feel like you matter, and we equally make him feel like he matters. I give him shout outs all the time because I freaking love him to freaking pieces. He is amazing. But he just naturally fell into being a writer, and it felt natural. He really is such a good guy. I can't even speak enough good things about Vel.
Yeah, he's absolutely wonderful, and I had to give him a shout out for sending all that stuff and just spoiling her. And she's really enjoying the game, and a lot of it has to do with, you know, like just the guild in general. Like, she's so excited when Ozja says something to her, or whenever, you know, I think Remedies had mentioned. I don't know if he was him or not, but somebody else had said something to her, and it's nice to pass that along, your passion to, and your kids taking interest in it, especially when it comes to gaming, and they want to be there with you.
And Little Bloke, he plays Horde, so he can't take over Riders, but my idea in mind is for our children to one day carry on the tradition that is PWNCAST and Riders. So, I mean, we're breeding an army of them. I missed the mark with the first one, but I got the rest of them. You know, the 17-year-old's not interested in any of that crap. But once she sees a cute
those
boy,
are also the experiences that they'll remember and possibly stay or enjoy Warcraft for life when you get those life or enjoyable moments.
Plays World of Warcraft, she's gonna be calling me on the phone and be like, "Mom, can I join your guild?" No, you can't, because you're basic, and basic cannot join my guild. But that's awesome.
Percentages are she's going to meet a boy that plays Overwatch. Just saying.
Probably also valid, actually.
I actually heard her mention to a friend of hers about, and I was not even anywhere near it, about how cool her dad was because she games with him. That's and so that just, you know, that motivated my heart.
It's embarrassing for my 17-year-old because all her friends think I'm so cool, and some of her friends watch the show, and she's like, Mom, it's really embarrassing for me. I'm like, what do you mean? I would think that you would be over the moon with the fact that, number one, I'm not like 120 years old. I'm kind of hip, right? I'm down. I know the 411. Like, she thinks my generation's music is her generation's music. Your shit's Cheetah Girls. Hello? Please stop stealing my music. But that's not even the point here. She thinks Drake is her generation, which makes me laugh. But that's a whole other topic of conversation. But she gets embarrassed because they'll reach out and they'll be like, wow, your parents are so cool. Your mom's so cool. She does all these things and blah, blah, blah. And my daughter's just like rolling her eyes because she hasn't seen the value in it yet. While my 15-year-old is she's proud of they don't even know what any of it means, but my 15-year-old's proud of me. She has no idea what it is I do, but she just is very proud of me.
I saw the like heartfelt post. It's like, I'm so proud of, you know, what's going on.
Your kids take an interest, man.
Yeah.
So moving on and not talking about children, unless there's some that we don't know about. Gemma Banks, what did you do this weekend? Well,
so much beta. I am level 100 and a half. I've gotten half a level. I haven't leveled much. I did a lot of the 110 stuff, so I created the level 110 characters, and I've fought all the pet trainers and pet bosses for the Dalaran tournament. again, articles and videos to come. I've uploaded 4 of them this week on Warcraft Pet Battles. Back to my good old friend that joined the guild. I got to find out what his Toon's name is for when I shout him out. Last week he watched the whole episode.
How do you not know your friend's name? Can you?
Well, I know his real life name, but I don't say. We're very professional. We say character names here, right, Belle?
Yeah, we do.
And,
You're right. You're right. Look at you.
Exactly, Jim.
Wow.
Jimma Banks doesn't know his name.
Jim is short for Jimma, so technically I'm not out of bounds by saying that.
He actually laughed that I said you address me as Jimma Banks when you say my segment, and he was sad that Lycan was not there because he really enjoys his lore as well. So, and he also flip-flopped his characters. He's like, why did you throw me under the bus? Because I mentioned he flipped from the Shaman to the Pally. So we finished Blackrock Foundry, got into the Hellfire Citadel looking for raid, and he really enjoyed the story. So, as much as it's boring for us, we've done it countless times, and it's fun for a newer player to see the current lower tier raid content and enjoy it, right? So we had some fun with that, a lot of pet battles. I was speaking with Simri Jones. She's another cool Australian who does pet battles as well. I wanted to shout her out because today she gave me a lot of the information on how I needed to face the pet battle or the pet tamers that I haven't got to yet. I have to level from level 100 to 110. I can't just cheat the system by making 110 characters. So that's on the agenda going forward. And just beta and regular gym stuff. So Jimma Bank stuff. So
Amazing.
Amazing.
I know Secret maybe got to log in and look.
I see what you did there.
Oh, actually, before we get into his Secret Sauce's Week and WoW, no one commented. We're all wearing the same uniform, guys. White tees and backwards black hats. Yeah, we're like it.
Meanwhile, here I am going against the grain. I totally could have matched them, but I am Groot.
You are
with
Groot.
the
You still have
pajama
something
pants on too.
What?
What?
Good essay.
Don't you have the Groot pajama pants on too?
I don't have the pajama pants on. I wore those yesterday, but we did. David or Secret Sauce. I use a slave name.
Yes.
He was here.
Fail.
We did buy Groot pants, and then Chaos sent me a plushie Groot, which he sits above my pillow on my bed. He sleeps with me.
That's funny.
He is the cutest little freaking Groot ever. I have another item actually waiting to be picked up. We didn't go today because things beyond my control, but. Update next week on what the other packages that I have in the mailbox because it's going to be pretty neato. Secret, were you able to maybe do anything at all or just log in and do gears and stuff?
So I had gotten a special request on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, per Mr. Kilgrave, requesting to try to get a heroic archer kill for his mount. I set it all up. Miscommunication on my part. I forgot to tell him what time it was going to be at, but I told everyone else that was part of this what time it was going to be at. So, got the group set up for today, and today was actually the first day I've been on since last Monday, and let him know, hey, we're ready. He's like, I'm like an hour and a half out, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I have basically 20 people waiting here, and I was like, oh well, we're going to go do it anyways.
So good job on not helping him at all. Cool.
We're going to do it tomorrow. So I'm going to try to set that up again. If not for tomorrow, then next Monday. Started to tank it. Wasn't working out. Had riders there. I had some other friends of mine, Wayward Enforcers, a really good group of people, and 2 pugs. Wasn't working out, so I switched back to Secret. Tyrigan was there. I mean, we had Rickett, Aja, Kaylin, Zura. I mean, I can keep naming the people. Sailor Satin was there.
She stepped out of Overwatch?
I asked her a week in advance. So
I would offend her, but she only watches when Hots is on the show. So I know she's not here in chat watching. It's the only time she watches is when Hots is on the show.
Yeah. So
I don't blame her.
We had a good turnout of writers. Good old Velitris was there. I asked him in advance. Cash was there. Yeah, I know a lot of people would have showed up too, but it was kind of like, I was just trying to get the time right. I know people have, real life going on. So, nonetheless, we did get a pug. They actually got their mount, so I was stoked about that. So we're going to try it again tomorrow. Hopefully I can get him his mount. And, hopefully I don't have to go to work
We have
tomorrow.
a good guild. We have a lot of good eggs. I'm very fortunate as a guild master. I'm very blessed in the World of Warcraft to have such an amazing group of people and steadily growing, man. I'm so happy. I already kind of told you guys my weekend.
Speaking of which, not to cut you off, I know pre-patch is coming out pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
And we are going to be, like I said in probably a couple shows ago, that we are going to probably start doing raiding again and get people going. And basically, in essence, do a tryout again.
For sure.
We're
going to talk about that, but there's going to be an application process actually.
That's how it used to be.
For main team, we're still going to be the teaching guild with the normal. So if you're interested in raiding and you want to do normal, you're not interested in like being all hardcore and getting yelled at for standing and shit like I do, you can still come and do the normal stuff. But for the actual main progression team, there is going to be an application process. There'll be details on that. We have a superior raid leader who can totally handle the job and can make this what it needs to be. But the main team is going to be a process where you will try out, and if you don't make it or you don't do what you need to do, you will not raid on the main team. You will raid on the normal team. So we always offer in tandem 2 different ways of being able to raid. But the main team, it was requested that I allow you to enforce the telling people yes you can or no you can't. And we don't have to just take what we can get anymore. We have a large guild. We have a lot of people that are interested in raiding. So should be good fun for you. Secret. That's all you, bruh.
I might even come back to tanking.
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
That's all Secret, dude. I'm trying to convince Dominic to come back for you also, because I know you would love having him as a tank, and him and Lycan worked really well together. So I'm doing the best. I know he said.
And then Tyrion can go to DPS.
I think he said he can commit to Monday, but I think Sundays he might have to try to get off early. But the time change in October will be a different thing because we're closer together. We're only 2 hours.
That's not until October.
Yeah. But that's exciting, Secret. Then Secret will start having, he'll be going through Legion bosses and all that stuff as stuff's current, to be giving you guys weekly breakdowns and helping some of you that don't raid on a hardcore level kind of understand the mechanics and stuff. So excitement very much.
Yes,
so,
I'm looking forward to it.
Prepare.
And I'm looking forward to seeing
I've dropped 4
the
bottles today.
See, there's a lot of new people that have joined the guild that want to raid, and I want to see what they're about. So.
What they're all about.
The time for greatness is upon us. So, with that being said, my week in WoW, I actually spent I've been doing guild in tandem. I've been having regular WoW and beta up because this whole month I've been in beta and I forgot. Beta's not WoW, guys. It's not real WoW. My guildies don't see me. Nobody knows I'm online. Everybody thinks I'm ghosted. They think I don't care anymore.
Is it like the Matrix?
Right. But realizing that, I started putting WoW up and then had beta open so that I can engage with the guild and make sure they feel my presence. We had the Hunger Games this last week. We're not going to really talk a whole lot about that because I'm irritated that 3 people who were supposed to be there didn't show up, nor did they tell me they weren't going to show up.
I was going to be there, but
No, these were tributes. And I go through I make tribute videos every month, and it takes me a full week to do these videos. So when I do a video for you and you don't show up, you piss me off. So if you're watching this, I'm mad at you. There's 3 of you. 3. Anyway.
3.
Yeah. Do the fries of face. So I'm upset, but this is the nature of things, guys. You can't make other people care about your thing. You just have to keep putting stuff out there. And the guildies that did show up, it was awesome. Capone was the winner. There were so many bounties that I really thought somebody was going to take out Capone, but he's a boomkin. It's really hard to kill a boomkin if you don't know what you're doing. So, and a lot of these guys don't PvP. Yeah, and a lot of these guys don't PvP. They're not normal PvPers. So it was good fun. We had a great turnout. We had new guildies that came along as part of the process, so it was really awesome. I enjoyed it. Also, I want to make sure Biohazard gets a shout out because they did complete Lore Master today. So congratulations. And also, Johnny, I just noticed you were in chat. I didn't notice you were in there. I've missed you, bud. I'm ready to see some Neutral Agent Panda leveling. We'll have to have you back on the show in Legion. For those of you that don't know, Johnny is the Neutral Agent. Several Neutral Agents now, I think. The only one, actually, to be not a faction. And he leveled on Wandering Isle with hitting shit with sticks and picking herbs from the ground. We love him to pieces. So
Johnny doesn't know.
That's basically my week in WoW. We've launched, we've separated the PDQ from the regular PWNCAST Facebook, so those of you that want your news have the source to go. We've been just super focused on doing what we needed to do for our community, and the YouTube videos with Legion are just the beginning, guys. Once Legion is live, there's going to be so many. We're going to have class guides for every spec for PvE and PvP. We're going to have profession guides. It is going to be so much a plethora of information that you guys aren't going to know what to do with yourselves, because the time for us to sit and talk about it once a week is over. Now's the time for us to really show you guys how you can enjoy the game and different things that you can do and be able to make yourself more efficient. There's lots of people doing what we do, but nobody's going to do it with the love that we do and with the understanding of the little guy, right? That's what you guys need. You guys need random, everyday, average Joes that still get impaled and still stand in fire and still do dumb shit. That's what you guys need, because that's what's real.
That's what Belle is.
Yeah, right. But although I am mechanically disinclined, I know a lot of things. And I don't have to know everything to be able to do guides for people, because I'm surrounded by pros. Every person in my life is a pro at something as far as World of Warcraft goes. So you don't have to be the person that knows everything, guys. You just have to surround yourself with smart people, because that's what makes you intelligent. I could be the dumbest person ever, and you guys would never know. Not a word.
That's valid.
She's the mastermind. I promise I'm going to help some of you make some sort of gold coming up. I promise.
Oh, I make my own gold. Don't you worry about that.
Not you. Yeah, you're on a higher level.
Lycan dances by the mailbox. You don't need help making the gold. And Secret gives fellatio on Moonguard, so you don't need to worry about that either.
So that's my goal, is to clean up these boys' act. I want them to be able to.
You want them to live right, right? You want
we need to go back there one night. Make it a whole
video for the YouTube channel.
I need to get permission from my wife first.
It's funny that Cash would even say something about his mage. Mage is like top DPS. I do want to have a discussion about the movie this week, but unfortunately, Bloke is not here, and I've been saving the movie talk for when all 5 of us are here, because it's important that everybody get their word in for the movie. So hopefully next week, Bloke gets some sleep, because I know him and the wife are so exhausted from that most adorable bundle of joy. But hopefully, if next week, if Bloke's sleep schedule permits and he's able with the energy, he's dealing with a lot right now, we will talk about the movie. I want all 5 of us to be here. So,
are you sure you're not waiting to have watched it a 15th time?
No, I watch it all the time.
Are you ready now to just...
I watch it all the time.
She just listens to it, while she's in the kitchen.
You should keep the counter. You could set a Guinness World Record for most times watched.
That's so funny.
I think you should shoot for that. What are you at, like 17 now?
I've watched it a lot.
That's probably valid.
But I find something new that I missed every time I watch it.
I'm saying, set the world record. Make sure you set it so high that you'll be our double agent.
So funny.
Watch it 100 times.
But that's pretty much it for what we have today, guys. We had a really, really informative show. I'm actually really happy with the way that it turned out. I think we gave a lot of good information, and the discussion was really good. I'm super happy with what we have here. And I think that's pretty much going to be the end of it. Make sure that you guys follow us on Facebook. Make sure you follow the PDQ on Facebook and Twitter as well. Also, don't forget, if you haven't been to the YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss what's being rolled out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I did also get an email, and I want to make sure that I read this email. So before we close out, I got an email from a person regarding the show, and I want to make sure that I shout out their name correctly. So hold on.
Hold the phone.
I'm going to sleep.
His name is Larry. Larry says, I just wanted to thank you for doing such a great job. I started listening to the podcast about a month ago and have finally caught up to the newest episodes. Thanks to Jimma, I have taken an interest in pet battles, and with your advice, I have made a considerable amount of gold lately dumping my bank items. I work a graveyard job, and you guys keep my night from sucking. My main is a paladin on Lightbringer named Charal, so hit me up sometime if you're ever on, and I'm always looking for new friends in game. Thank you for your time and keep up the excellent work.
That's cool.
Shout out to you, Larry.
Yeah, Larry's a nice Larry. Sometimes I haven't had a lot of good feedback from Larry. Sometimes it's not nice, but he's
evened out the percentage.
Yeah. The law of averages, guys.
So.
The freaking law of averages. I'm very, very happy with that. He made me feel really, really happy. And then there was there was an iTunes that we got a 5-star, great podcast from Max Scorpius. I like how they focus on WoW and don't talk about a lot of other games or non-WoW related topics. That's why we do what we do, folks, and that's why I lock it down when people aren't playing World of Warcraft. You ain't on the show, people.
That was you, wasn't it?
No.
She made her own.
You made your own 5-star review. Yeah,
I promise you, I don't have the time to go make a separate iTunes account for all that.
She has enough shit going on.
That was on iTunes, by the way. I promise I don't have the time for that. But that is the reason we lock it down and we make sure we're strictly WoW.
If I throw something, Mrs. Lycan is bothering me, so if you see something flying across the screen, that's why.
It's no better than... No different than Bloke's booby juice for last week. That was really funny. That's when you love when one of your friends is acclimating to your style of life, right? Like me and Lycan know about this kid thing, and we know about the struggle of newborns, and now Bloke is among us in that group, and it's nice when somebody else kind of welcome to the world of being a parent and all of its joys, and sometimes not glorious moments, but it's nice when somebody else kind of feels that.
He's also handled it so well, having
really
two horde babies in his house.
No, that baby is not a horde baby.
Are you sure? Check. I don't know. Check
but
it.
He is the cutest, most well-behaved baby ever. And Bloke and Mrs. Bloke, they're really, truly awesome parents. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with us every week. If you don't come watch us live, I'm okay. That doesn't hurt my feelings. If you listen to us instead of watching, you're missing out on a lot of really weird facial expressions, guys. But I do want to thank each and every one of you for giving us a listen, a like, and a comment every week and letting us entertain you for an hour and a half. You chose us out of all the people that you could be watching and listening to right now to listen to
True
us
story.
bunch of fuckers. And we don't know why, but we're glad you did. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and... I love you so much.
It's the beard.
I'm starting to grow a beard. Venruki has given me purpose, and I've decided that it's ridiculous that men just wake up and look great, and women really got to try hard. So I'm gonna grow a beard. And
well, that's great because you'll have something to connect to your mustache. That's awesome.
Wow, that was a good burn. No, that was a good burn. You know your friends whenever you can burn someone like that. That was a good one. Yeah. But we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Bye, guys.
Take care. I'm so tired.
I can't believe
I couldn't resist. Lycan says I do have a brown.
That was the first time you've ever been mean to me. And that's not even really mean, right? That's like mild in my standards.
That was just like a little jab.
And I do have a mustache, though. I'm trying to get that lined up, though.
Okay.
The show could have been more informative, but I have 2 articles I'm selling to the highest bidder.
You're gonna sell them. You're gonna sell them to my arch nemesis.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Your news groundbreaking.